This is the spoiler review for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Spoilers means, if you've not seen the movie, don't watch this fucking video.
Yeah, this is gonna be bad if you do.
We did the regular
unless
one.
you're gonna be that guy, I was like, I just want to fucking know. And then what you do, you're like, fuck it, God damn it, I should have said it.
I don't even care. That's why you eat that extra chocolate donut. It's the same thing mentally.
You're like, you fight with yourself. Like, if I have one more, I'd just add an extra workout.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, if I had a whole box, I'll just work out that.
Fuck it, I don't even care.
He was trained, Kylo Ren, by Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker failed, and because Kylo Ren turns bad, and so he went off into the recesses of space to get his mojo back, to kind of figure out where he's at and stuff like that. And basically, he didn't leave a call waiting or anything. He just fucking dropped his shit and ran. The big reveal is that he is the son of Han and Leia. His name's Ben, but he just goes by Kylo Ren.
And you called that shit. Give yourself credit.
I knew, well, the Force was strong.
Give yourself some credit, honey. You did good.
Kylo Ren is obsessed with finding Luke because his master, which is Snoke, which is obviously a Sith Lord as well, has twisted Ben's mind. And they want to make sure that Luke Skywalker won't return, or kill him at least, because if he comes back, he will bring back the Jedi. Like, he'll find a way to bring the Jedi back. And also, they mentioned that Luke's also looking for the Jedi Temple. So, that's in there.
The first Jedi Temple.
And the big Star Killer base is basically a 50-time Death Star on steroids.
Yeah, it's the Death Star fucking huge.
And it can, like, kill planets, like, 4 at a time.
Dude, that scene when they see the planets is like 3 at a time PowerPoint presentation, and then they suck it back in, and he's just standing there watching this shit.
That was bad.
Chills, man. I got chills.
It sucks the sun's energy out and it releases it, which is what she said. But anyway, it does. It releases, but it was like, if I had, swear to God, if I'd been a part of the Alliance and I just saw this beam going, I was like, well, God damn.
Yeah, they saw that shit coming.
I know.
I always wonder what that would look like, too. Like, it's one of those things I just think about. Yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, if someone just blew us up with a laser, what would it look like? Now I know.
Rey.
Looking at that baby like, Fuckville, party of everyone.
Rey in this, she's on Jakku, and it's very reminiscent of Luke Skywalker. She's a scavenger. She lives alone. It's mixed up with Han Solo and Chewbacca and John Boyega. They all kind of collide together. They don't really talk much about Rey as far as like what her relationship is to Luke and Han, but I'm assuming I just think
they're gonna get that shit later.
She's got Force power. She's the Jedi.
They left so much shit.
Yeah, definitely. She's the Jedi in this. Like, she's the one that fights Kylo Ren, and she gets Luke Skywalker's weapon. She finds the lightsaber, and she's getting all these feelings, and that's where part of the Force Awakens comes from. It's not John Boyega, which I thought it was going to be John Boyega. The only weird thing about John Boyega's character is that for some reason, me and Mike talked about this. Like, when he was fighting Kylo Ren with the lightsaber, like, he shouldn't have been able to hold his own against him.
That was one of the tiny problems. Like, the power fluctuation was off.
Because when I remember, you can use a lightsaber if you're a non-Jedi, but not in any effective way. Like, it takes like 4 skills to be able to use it.
He actually hurt him. Like, yeah. I know they did the thing where he was like punching himself and like knocking the blood out, where Chewie had shot him, which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
But the Chewie had shot him, so he was hurt a little bit. Plus, John Boyega was super pissed off. But still, that's Kylo Ren. Like, when you see him for the first time, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like holding that lightsaber back, and he's just like, the camera looks at him. He looks like the guy in the Scream mask, where he's got that ropes kind of.
Yeah.
But he's like, doom. And like, you're thinking, this dude's powerful as shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm enamored by his power. It's almost sexual. Was that out loud?
You cast a spell.
Did I say that out loud? No, it's like, you're like, this dude's powerful as shit. He's a badass villain, and then it's like he gets weaker as the movie goes along. When he gets to the very end, he fights John Boyega, and he almost lost.
I think maybe I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and just gonna read into it like this. He kills Han Solo. Okay?
What if John Boyega ends up being a Jedi?
He could be, but I don't know. He never displayed any Jedi powers. Like, he was even a joke when he gets on planet, and Han's like, "What were you in the Empire?" Because John Boyega was part of the First Order, and he was like, "I was the custodian," and he was like, "What?" He's like, and he goes, "What are we gonna do? People are depending on us. We gotta get the shield generator down." He was like, "We'll use the Force." He goes, "That's not the way the Force works."
That's hilarious.
I know, but so John Boyega.
That's not how any of this works.
Yeah, John Boyega's kind of clueless on the Force, like, but he's funny as shit. But I don't know. Yeah, I think that. Like I said, I'm going to give him a benefit. I think what happened is Kylo Ren, after he killed Han, because Snoke knew, Kylo Ren's master, that the only way that Kylo Ren will embrace fully the dark side is he has to kill his own father, and he does do it, because he tells Han, they meet up, it's a very emotional moment, they meet up on this bridge, and Han's trying to bring him back. He's like, your mother and I, we miss you. and stuff like that. And you can see, and that was great emotion because you see him start crying and stuff. And
whenever Han's one of those guys, like whenever he shows real emotion, it actually matters because he never does.
He's just got that.
He's always like, "Fuck y'all."
I think he's just got that voice that works. Like he's just always mad at looking all the time. So when he actually does, like he's like the dad that's mean, but when he's like, "Son, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings." And you're like, "Daddy." But anyway, so he's like, your mother and I miss you. We want you to come back. And Kylo's like, I'm being torn apart, and I need you to help me do something. And he holds the lightsaber, and for a second he's shaking, and I think he wants to come back, but then he finally turns the lightsaber and stabs Han up through the chest, and he falls off the bridge. There's no way Han's back. I mean, he didn't survive.
He had to die. Yeah, I think he wanted to. I think Harrison Ford
since
wanted
Empire.
to die.
Harrison Ford wanted to die since Empire.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I also kind of knew it was coming. We both talked about it in the theater.
That one scene when they split up.
Yeah, because they were giving him all the best lines. They were showcasing him. He was always in it. He was always around, and it was just like, you know what? I was thinking. I was like, okay, you know what? Harrison Ford's wanted to die since Empire Strikes Back with Han Solo, and now that he's got a new director, it's not George Lucas, it's J.J. Abrams. He probably said, "I'll come back for the movie if you kill me off."
Yeah,
like that's it. And he's like, "I'll do it one more time." So that's what happened. But it was. I hated to die, but
I felt bad for Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, Carrie Fisher was all right in this. She really didn't have many things to go on as far as lines and stuff. But it was when Han dies, because Leia's got the Force a little bit anyway. She sets down. She can feel that Han's died, which is fucking great. I mean, like I said, that emotional part was really strong. But my point was, getting off his emotions, that I think that's what I was kind of reading into, why Kylo Ren kind of got his ass kicked a little bit by John Boyega with the lightsabers, because maybe he was mentally torn. Like he had just killed his fucking dad, and he'd also been shot. So maybe there was a lot of emotions going on.
That whole scene was awkward and strange to me when he was like, "I'm getting torn apart." It was way too easy.
But I think what it was,
he wasn't going back. But
I think for a second, I was hoping he would. I was like, "Don't do it." But okay, and then Rey. Daisy Ridley's character, she finally, when she picks the lightsaber up, because when John Boyega grabs the lightsaber, he goes, "That Ben or Kylo Ren," he's like, "That's my lightsaber. It belongs to me," because it was his grandfather, who was Anakin Skywalker's, and he's like a Darth Vader worshiper. Like that's what he wants to do is bring, and his helmet's even designed to look like Darth Vader. And he's like, it belongs to me. And when he finally does fuck up John Boyega, it lands in the snow like the sword in the stone, and he's like trying to reach for it, and it rattles, and then all of a sudden the Rey fucking pulls it, and she lights it up. I'm like, holy fuck!
That was
an awesome scene, and that's when it really takes off, and she does really well against him, which I think that's what you're talking about. She learns it really quick.
God damn it! I can't wait to watch this movie again.
I gotta see it again. But when she's like whooping his ass, there's a point where he's like, he goes, "You got yet to control your powers, and I can show you the Force, the way." And then she's like, "The Force." And then she closes her eyes, and then she like, I think that's because with that little tiny CGI character Maz, with the big eyes. She was the one that told her that the Force is all around. All you gotta do is feel it. And I think when she closed her eyes, like, if you close your eyes, you can feel it. That's why she got reinvigorated. She felt the strength from it. And that was a cool scene. So I guess maybe it was just she's so naturally strong in the Force. Maybe that's why she held her own against Kylo Ren, because Kylo Ren had been trained by Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, because it did feel like she learned stuff really quick. But you're right, and
I think that she is the daughter. Either she is the daughter of Leia and Han, they don't know about.
Something.
Or she's the daughter of Luke.
They don't know they had a kid.
Because the weird thing is when she had, they say it could happen.
I had it on the toilet.
Yeah.
I sat down after a big burrito dinner, and a baby came out.
I thought I was just constipated. The weird thing is, because the whole thing with Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from Bespin, the original lightsaber, the blue one, when she picks it up, she gets all these Force images and shit. And remember in the trailer, when Luke was saying, the Force, he doesn't say it in the movie, but in the trailer he says, "The Force is strong in my family. I have it, my sister has it. You have that power too."
Yeah.
Unless he was talking to Ben, which it's possible. But I think there's a relationship there, and it would make total sense to have Rey be the sister of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, there's something there. There's something there, and they leave a lot of shit. Like you could tell for the sequels. Like the very end of the movie, you finally see, like halfway through the movie, I was like, "Holy shit, Mark Hamill's not in this fucking movie." They show him at the very end. They said he looks like Jesus.
He does. That whole scene was Jesus-like.
He looks way better as the character.
Yeah, I loved it.
I guess like seeing Mark Hamill now, like he's a badass dude, whatever. But seeing him, it's like I don't see that Luke in him, his look at all anymore. And when they showed him the way he looked, I was like, "Oh shit, I want to see Luke do some like lightsaber battles right now." I didn't expect to feel that way when I saw him.
One thing I was hoping, and it would have been so fucking cool, when that lightsaber hits the snow, I thought Luke it was going to fly out and you were going to see Luke catch it.
That would have been dope as fuck.
I know, and not only did he catch it, he fucking lights it up, and then he lights up his green one. And then he has two. He's fucking doing that. He's like doing the General Grievous.
Now
Let's fucking do it. But no, I thought that would be, or at least when they were fighting.
That's what General Grievous was. I know, he was a bop it, suck it,
pull it, spin it, twist it. The thing was, I just thought it would have been cool, because I know everybody in the theater was just waiting for Luke to come out of nowhere, but Rey and Kylo Ren were fighting, and Kylo Ren had got the upper hand, and he's ready to kill her or something.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see a green lightsaber light up and it's Luke.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool. But nonetheless, at the very end, he is in it. He doesn't have any lines. But his mouth is just kind of open. He's like, "You found me." He turns around and he's kind of shocked that somebody found him. Maybe he knew she was coming though, because he's got the Force. But when she holds out the lightsaber to him, you got this recognition in him, and it's like all these emotions are going through his face, and you can tell. But the only thing I was thinking, I was like, Mark Hamill, close your fucking mouth, because he had his mouth open for like 8 minutes. He was like. And it was like, I was thinking to myself, you know what he's thinking? It's like, son of a bitch, I just wanted to get away for a holiday. Her holding it and him sitting there looking at her and this emotional stuff is going on. It's a great scene, but it was just like, how long are you going to hold that for? Because my arm
I know, dude, it was forever.
But it will definitely, Luke will have a bigger part in it. Next movie, obviously. And that was cool to see Mark Hamill again. Let's talk about Poe. No, we talk about sex later.
Baby.
Not with each other. But we'll talk about Poe. Poe was fucking awesome.
Why do you even feel the need to clarify that?
Because people say that we need to fuck or something. That's what we got in the comments about.
Hey, you two boys in the cameras, y'all fuck.
Y'all fucking.
You guys fuck.
Hey, I didn't wear my popcorn.
Where's the fuck button?
I don't know why I'd be redneck, but I just picture this big fat guy with like lint in his belly button. It's like, and like short shorts. Anyway, okay, so Poe in this. Poe is fucking badass. He is definitely the newcomer that's going to be the Han Solo of the film.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac's not in the movie enough, first off.
Yeah,
That's the problem for me. I didn't like that. Like, the ship crash lands, and I'm thinking, certainly, I know he's not dead, but it took forever for him to come back, and then when he came back, it was empty. And another problem with the movie was, and we fucking love this movie, don't get me wrong, but the Oscar Isaac's job, basically the recreation of the destruction of the Death Star is what it was.
Yeah,
and it didn't feel like it looked badass. It felt cool seeing him there, but it was like an addendum. It was like something extra. It's like, oh, by the way, we just blew up the giant Death Star.
But still, the visual was fucking amazing, and it was cool shit to see that volcanic eruption when they fucking go to the center of the Death Star and you see all the shit coming. It looked amazing, and especially when it blew up. Yeah. It looked way fucking. I've never seen a planet blow up like that. But that was still, but it was a little bit kind of like you said, tacked on. It felt a little tacked on, but it wasn't bad at all. I know it sounds like we're bitching about it. No, it's not. It was just.
No, when we give the movie a 9.5, it's barely off of total perfection for us.
But I will say about Poe, Poe is also apparently the best pilot in the Alliance.
He's definitely the best pilot in the galaxy.
Well, Han Solo was the best. He's dead now, so sad face. But I'm just saying he's the best in the rebellion. That's what he said. So at least they gave him an important thing to do. But you're right. I thought he would have more. Like, I thought at least he would be with Rey and John Boyega like throughout the movie.
And in the end, when they take off on their new mission or whatever to go find Luke, he's not with them. So I mean, I guess they'll have something going on back to the other one. But I expected him to somehow integrate into that. Maybe and I love the brodom between him and John Boyega.
Yeah, it happened. Quick.
That first scene, yeah, I did. But that first scene when they were in the fighter jet, I was like, yeah, bro, high five. I was like, I love that. That was really cool.
I liked it when he was like, because John Boyega, basically what John Boyega is it's Finn's disillusioned stormtrooper. He is a stormtrooper. We all kind of knew that. But at the very beginning, by the way, I'm going to say something about the stormtroopers. They look very militaristic now. They actually look like a functioning military unit, and it's fucking badass. You can see that they've got the red. They look like captains now. They're not all the same. They've got like jetpacks. They look great. Yeah. And I think they even mentioned. I didn't hear it really. Like, so if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I think one of them mentioned clone troopers, and they're like, no, we're not using clone troopers. There was because the guy was like, my soldiers are trained from birth. And then somebody was like, well, if we use clone troopers, this wouldn't happen. Like, and he was like, no. And then, it was like kind of a shot.
I told you last week's meeting, John, it's not going to happen.
I was like, fuck your fucking clones. But no, that was pretty cool that they even mentioned that. It was pretty much, I think it was a stab at Lucas, though. I felt like Abrams was like, Attack of the Clones, so big. But anyway, so John Boyega's disillusioned because at the very beginning, when I mentioned how militaristic the stormtroopers are, they have these military landing crates that drop down out of the sky and they go attack this village looking for the BB-8 because BB-8 is carrying the map to Luke Skywalker's location. And that's how you get introduced to BB-8 and Poe. And
I like BB-8.
Yeah, he's cutesy. You could tell he was cutesy for a purpose, but he's
just
still
a new version of R2-D2, but it's cool.
When John Boyega comes off the ship with the other troopers, that was a fucking awesome scene. It felt like D-Day in Star Wars.
It felt like Normandy, yeah.
But when he's holding the gun, they're asking Kylo Ren, it's like, what should we do with
those bright laser lights flying everywhere?
I had an epileptic seizure for a second.
Yeah, it felt so nice.
But especially in 3D. But the thing was, when he's holding the gun up on the villagers, Kylo Ren's like, kill all the villagers. He won't do it. Like, and it was cool because Kylo looks at him. And he knew that he didn't do it, and I think the entire time Kylo knew that he was never going to be accustomed to the realities of the First Order. So
that
he
scene was the coolest villain entrance. I mean, that was so badass. Like the way he stopped that lightsaber thing. Like like we talked about this in the review, but it seemed like he got less powerful as the movie went on. When they first showed Kylo Ren, it was like, this dude is badass, super unstoppable, karate Bruce Lee master of the Force. And then as you go along, like he's even Domhnall Gleeson's little Hitler guy's kind of bitch. And not his bitch, but like he even answers to him. And then he's got another boss. And then it turns out John Boyega is able to fight him. And then it turns out he just gets a little bit weaker as the movie goes along. I don't like it.
You got to work your way up the corporate ladder. Okay, so he's down. He's like the executive. He's like the VP. No, here's the thing. I think the reason why he's like that though, I think it was like that emotional thing.
Yeah.
He's getting more. But anyway, I will say. John Boyega, the reason I was talking about Poe and that bromance that happened so quick is like, it was funny though when John Boyega rescues Poe, he was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to join the rebellion. He's like, you need a pilot, dude. He's like, yeah, I do. I need a pilot. He's like, okay.
This is we forgot to say this in the review. This is the funniest Star Wars movie. It's definitely the funniest.
Definitely comedic lines that are perfect.
Chewie is fucking hilarious, and he's never been done better than he's done in this movie before.
You know who I thought was going to be the funniest, and it turns out he really wasn't. C-3PO. He was only in it for a little bit. And the thing about R2, he's barely in it. R2's been in low power mode since Luke left. I think that maybe he misses him or whatever. And at the end of the movie, the reason why they can find Luke Skywalker is BB-8 has one part of the map. R2-D2 lights up. For some reason, there was some reason why he lit up. He comes over with the rest of the map, and that's how they find Luke.
Droids always catching fucking feelings, man.
These are not the droids you're looking for. But it was definitely the funniest of all the Star Wars, but also done in a way that's everybody can enjoy. It's not like stupid. It's not trying to be like mean or make fun of the material. It's done right.
And one more tiny spoiler: Daniel Craig is actually the hilarious scene where she actually tries to use the Force for the first time, and he's like, I'll tighten those restraints. And then when she like, you will drop that weapon. He's like, well, I will drop this weapon. That was Daniel Craig in that Stormtrooper suit.
That was crazy. That was a great scene. And then there was also when Kylo Ren's freaking out. He's getting pissed off because John Boyega got away. And those two Stormtroopers walking down the hallway, and they're like, hey, this way, go back this way. It's funny. It's like, I'm not dealing with that.
That's like when you wake up in the morning, you start to go downstairs, but you hear the vacuum cleaner and you hear shit slamming around. You're like, oh fuck, mom's cleaning. I'm going back to my room.
It's like, or you come in with your friends, or you're going on a date, and you can hear like a fighting, and you're like, hey, let's just go like hang out somewhere else today.
It was kind of babyish almost, because every time something went wrong, he'd be like, God damn it! He was like he was like Billy Hope from Southpaw.
Yeah, he was. He got really pissed off because there was one like he like slashed the fucking console, and then the guy was like, he's like, what else was there? And he was like, there was a girl. And he was like, fuck it. And he grabs him, and it was cool. And he pulled him to him. You can see his feet like hitting the girders or something on the floor.
I like
when he grabs him, it was just funny when he said the girl though. He got like excited. He's show me where the fuck she is. He's like, I need some pussy. But
Kylo needs some dank.
He needs something. He needs a stank hole. That's why he's so bad. He needs that junk. But anyway,
that's a T-shirt right there.
What?
Kylo needs some dank.
that's bad though. If you dang.
I guess I don't know where I came up with that word. It just felt right.
There was one I swear to God, if I was his dad, I would be like, stop being a fucking twat. He was like, he's like, you're mad at the world. Quit.
Yeah. Like you said, he was a little bit emo, but he still brought the fucking anger. He wasn't Hayden Christensen's bitch.
No, he was way better than Hayden. And like I said, he brought the emotions in the way that you did. But there were some times that it was just. It was like, Daddy, fuck it.
He was right there. Like he almost went into it.
Yeah,
like,
one time he did. Yeah, especially when he took his helmet off and he had the long hair. I'm like, wow.
But for the most part, he was pretty badass.
It'd be funny though if he had the long hair and he took it off and he was like crow makeup.
So are you gonna cry, Kylo? Are you gonna cry right now?
No, fucking asshole. But he was still a great character.
I'm concerned about the toner in this machine.
He's still a great character. Definitely a good background. I want to see what happens because you know now, like he just killed his own fucking father. Because now that Leia, she obviously knows that he killed his own father. Like, and she was the one that told Han to bring him back. Yeah. That there was still light in him. I don't know how that's going to change the fundamentals of their relationship because it's her son, and then Ben is also Luke's old apprentice. So I want to see if Luke's. I don't know. I mean, it's just going to be.
Can we get away from the I didn't know we were family theme with Star Wars? You know.
I don't mind it.
Nah, it's happened. We've done it. You know. I mean, not in this movie. It wasn't too much. It wasn't really there at all, except for the fact that Kylo Ren ended up being their kid or whatever. But yeah, no. There's all speculation that maybe someone's kid.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you guys have kids on Twitter.
I just want to see one guy. I was like, I am your father's brother's cousin's former roommate. I was like, what does that make us? Absolutely nothing. I hate when my shorts get all twisted. Overall, it's still an amazing, epic movie. Scoped, fucking awesome. You couldn't ask for a better
No,
one.
they made it look so goddamn glorious. Every shot of this film looks so glorious, except for the few CGI things. Everything wrong with it, I can tell you right now on one hand. The power balance was a little bit off. We talked about that. A little too much CGI. I didn't like that little mini-looking fucking thing with big eyes. Yeah, punt that thing. Get that out of there. These are tiny things.
Oh, dude, that's fucking spit. Say it like you mean it.
Use the force.
I did.
These are teeny tiny things that keep it from being total perfection. But if I had to, I'd give this movie a 9.98. It had so much. It had Star Wars. It was Star Wars. It fucking sucked the teat of the original, the Holy Trinity.
Damn, it pulled the nipple off. Apparently, this movie shows forever why practical effects still work. Because when she's walking in Jakku and she's walking in the city, and you see those creatures walking by her, and you can tell it's obviously fucking puppeteering and stuff. It looks fucking amazing.
I know, I love that shit. You don't get that anymore. Like it's so good.
Even the turtles. I mean, we like the new trailer, but I think it could have been cooler because with all the advancement in technology with CG, I know it looks great, but what about the advancement in puppetry? You can make practical effects look even better. Look,
that just sounds funny.
I love puppetry.
Yeah. What about the advancements in puppetry?
I like puppets.
Let's talk about it.
Sock puppets.
Yeah, so it's a 9.5 for both of us. I think we know all the spoilers. The most that I can think about. Sometimes you forget shit. We just saw it once. It's over 2 hours long. What the fuck you people want?
I don't think there was anything else really. Yeah, we talked about all.
Yeah, for the most part, that's the good shit. You know, I'm sad to see his Solo go, but it was time. I think
there was that one scene that was funny. I forgot to mention it. John Boyega calls up. He's like, "Hey, Solo." He's like, "Did you just call me Solo?" He's like, I mean, Han, Mr. Solo. Hans Gruber.
Nakatomi Plaza. I don't know why that made me laugh.
Yippee-ki-yay.
So, yeah, that's our thoughts of it. We love your faces. Comment below. Let us know what you guys thought of the movie. What's your rating of it? How do you feel about Han Solo dying? Were you shocked, surprised? Did you shit your pants? Did you cry? We love your faces. Click that subscribe button. Get some wham up in you. And go see Star Wars.
Have a good day.
Wait, you've already seen it. That's the fucking point.
We watched a movie.